And where my sponsors really came in and supported me, I think, was 2014 when I had my big injury and it all went wrong. They really stepped in. So I had the full support of the EIS team at British Gymnastics, and they were incredible. So I had almost, and that's why I say, like, being a professional athlete, especially in an individual sport, you really do need a team of people around you, and that's what it felt like I had at that point. And Sky Sports, they came in, and in 2013, I went for an interview, and it was for a really exciting opportunity to become a Sky Sports scholar. And there was shortlisted. There was 100 athletes shortlisted, and that got taken down to 20. And the 20 athletes got asked to go into Sky Sports, so Sky Sports headquarters in Osterley down in London, go in there and have an interview with the director of Sky Sports, the gentleman that was going to lead this programme, a guy called Tony Lester, and a few other people that were very high up at Sky at the time and involved with Sky Sports and were part of this programme. And I remember I was given a 30-minute interview time slot, and I just chewed their ears off for about an hour. And they said, "Sam, we're loving it. We're really sorry. You're supposed to only have half an hour. We're gonna have to cut the interview there. But thank you very much, and we'll get back to you shortly." So I kind of waited for 2 weeks, and they were going to take those 20 athletes that went for interviews. They were going to shortlist it down to 12, and they would be the athletes selected. And the reason this was such an incredible, incredible support package that Sky Sports were offering was that it was going to be for 4 years. And it was really clever what they did. It was going to run from 2013 to 2017. And the reason why that was amazing now, having the experience that I've got, is that somebody there knew that post-2016, the Olympic Games, that's the point at which either you've been to the Olympics and been really successful, or you've missed out, and a lot of athletes get their funding and their sponsors dropped like that. And somebody there that must have had a sporting background, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was the guy that led the program, Tony, knew that, the time when those athletes really need that support is that year after the Olympics. If they've not made it, the chances that all 12 of these athletes that we selected are going to go to the Olympic Games and be successful is really small. So that was incredible. And they were offering a lot of financial support. It was huge. It was, for me at the time, it was like life-changing money. So, that's where I really learned that people invest in people. Up until that point, I thought, I'm not going to get this. There's so many more athletes on this list that have won more medals than me, and they've got more achievements. They've done more in their career. But I guess the fact that I kept them talking for an hour and they were fully invested in what I was saying and the passion I had, they wanted to invest in me as a person. And that was really important for me to learn that, I think. As I got towards the end of my career, that really helped me, and it gave me confidence when I was essentially acting on my own behalf. But that was brilliant. And, I was given the green light. I was given the Sky Sports Scholarship Programme opportunity. That massively changed my life. I met my mentor, Jeff Shreves. So he works in football. And, the initiatives that they had, I went for public speaking training, which was really invaluable. I sat in a room with this guy, and he basically asked me to kind of write a little story about myself, and he just tore me to shreds. But by the end of the session, it was brilliant. He'd made so many positive changes, and I'm sure that massively influenced the fact that, I'm able to sit here now and talk to the camera like I am doing. So Sky Sports were incredible. And at that point where I'd had that injury in 2014, and I'd been told by the doctor that you might not do gymnastics again on 6 apparatus, and I'm thinking my career could be over. I might not be going to Rio 2016, the Olympic Games. That dream might be gone now. They stepped in and they supported me massively, as did Red Bull. And I went to see a specialist through Red Bull, an ankle specialist, to talk about recovery. Between Sky and Red Bull, they funded what was called a game-ready machine. It's basically like an icing machine. So for 6 months of my life, every night I had to put this ice machine on for 20 minutes every hour, and while I was in bed and my legs were raised, and it was a really expensive machine. They were like £2,500, these machines. I'd never be able to afford that without the support of somebody like Sky Sports or Red Bull. And that made a massive impact on my recovery. And they were all the time, they would ring me up, you know, Red Bull and Sky, and the guys there that I worked with that looked after me, and they'd ask me how my recovery is going. So it really did feel like I had people around me supporting me. And, you know, more than anything, at a time when I was really vulnerable and thinking that I'm not going to be able to go to the Olympic Games now, they made me feel like I was still supported. So that was huge.